Hi, welcome to our today's live counting down to, counting backwards. We are on day 79, which is almost, say, another 80 days to go. Okay, if you include today. And as I mentioned yesterday in my video, yesterday, that we are going to have a special guest today. And she's really special. You know why? Because she's one of those women who not only worked on herself and on her relationship, but she has been able to deal with those fears wherein we tend to think that, oh my god, if I join the coaching program, or if I write a comment, or if I say, even if I give like button, press the like button, then my family will know, my somebody will know, and they will all know. She's one of those, and why I call her so special is because she's one of those who's out of that fear, and she doesn't care who gets to know. Because when she joined, yeah, she had kept it secret. I mean, nobody, not even her husband, knew that she was joining her coaching program. But after the coaching program is over, I think in the middle of it, and she'll tell you, her husband had got to know, and how did he manage with that. That also, was a challenge for her. But today she's out in the world spreading the message, and we will see what that message from her is. Okay. So, welcome, Pallavi, to our 100 Days Challenge, and I'm so happy to see you here. She's a doctor. She's a gynecologist in
Hi.
the city. Okay, Pallavi, you could just give a brief introduction of yourself.
Hi, I am Dr. Pallavi Gupta. I am a gynecologist. I am based in Gurgaon. And I had, after 1 year of marriage, I realized that things were not, I was not happy. And that was when I actually approached you. And then I took almost 1.5 years to decide whether I should actually join or not. And
Yeah,
today I'm
we'll
here.
come to that.
Yeah.
That's a mystery for me as well, right? So, I have some questions for you, because to keep the time factor in mind, we will
Sure.
limit ourselves to those questions. Otherwise, we can go on and on, right? So many
Yeah.
stories of Pallavi, you'll love to hear. But keeping that time factor, we are limiting ourselves to these questions. So, Pallavi,
Sure.
I think we finished our program with you in January this year, right?
Yes.
Right. So,
Yes.
from January to now, it's 6 months, right?
Yeah.
How is your life going now with regards to your relationship and you as a person?
It's it's something which I had never imagined that this can also happen in a marriage where I was planning to walk out, in a marriage of that, where I was so unhappy. I never imagined that my life could be like this, where I am just just comfortable around my husband, telling him anything, sharing anything with him, and without having that fear that he's going to judge me, or he's going to counter whatever I'm saying. Nothing, absolutely nothing. I don't fear being around him. In fact, he's one of those people जिनके आसपास मैं सबसे ज़्यादा comfortable हूँ. I can be exactly the way I am. आई स्टिल हैव टू मैनेज कि मुझे ऐसे अपने पेरेंट्स के सामने रहना होता है, ऐसे अपने पेशेंट्स के सामने रहना होता है, बट विद हिम आई एम एब्सोल्युटली फ्री. देर इज एब्सोल्युटली नो फियर कि कोई प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी तो कैसे होगा. ऐसा नहीं है कि प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं आते, अभी भी होता है, लेकिन इट डजेंट बॉदर मी दैट मच. इट्स ओके अगर 1 महीने 1.5 महीने में एक बार लड़ लिया तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है हाँ बहुत दिन हो गए थे लड़े नहीं थे, लड़ लिया, इट्स ओके. But earlier it was not like this. It has completely changed the way our relationship is today. Just to quote, there are many stories. Many stories where I can just keep on going on giving you examples. But I was a person who would cancel everything and anything if my husband is coming home. If he is going to spend time with me, I would cancel anything. मेरा अपना कोई बुकिंग है, मेरा इवन मेरा पेशेंट भी होता था, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था यार ये अपॉइंटमेंट इस बीच में क्यों आ गया. एंड आई वांटेड टू स्पेंड टाइम विद माय हस्बैंड. एंड what used to happen was I used to cancel my appointments, or I used to postpone my appointment आगे पीछे कैसे भी. And I used to come home and we used to have a fight. और मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि यार बेकार ही सब कुछ किया, कोई फायदा नहीं है कुछ करने का. एंड आई हैव कम टू अ पॉइंट दैट नाउ इफ आई हैव एन एजेंडा ऑफ माई ओन, एंड ही टेल्स मी कि यार मैं आ रहा हूँ या हमें जाना है. सो आई वेरी कंफर्टेबली टेल हिम दैट यार ये 1 घंटा तो बहुत बिजी है, मैं इस टाइम के बाद फ्री होंगी. He automatically, without me telling him, he works around the my agenda कि हाँ ये पल्लवी का busy time है, इसके आगे पीछे हमें काम करना है, वो मुझे इसको 3:30 बजे फ्री करना है. Like today I had to join this and he had some plans कि शाम को हमें यहाँ जाना है वहाँ जाना है. And I said ओ 3:30 बजे तो मेरा एक ऐसे प्लान वो है कि मुझे उसमें लाइव जाना है. He said हाँ कोई बात नहीं, I will not come home, I will come only after 4:30. You take your time. एंड जब ये सब होता है तो आई डोंट फील एनी एंग्जाइटी और एनी फियर और एनी डिसकम्फर्ट विच वॉज अ लॉट अर्लियर. एवरीबडी यूज टू टेल मी कि उसके पीछे पीछे क्यों घूमती हो, अपना देखा करो, एंड तुम दूर रहोगी तो वैल्यू बढ़ जाएगी. तो मैं करती थी ऐसे कि आई यूज टू बी फ्री बट आई वोंट कम होम इफ ही इज एट होम बिकॉज आई वॉन्टेड टू मेक हिम फील दैट आई एम इम्पॉर्टेंट. And that never happened. He never realized that I'm not there, or he's alone, or I'm not spending enough time with him. But now, even if it is 5 minutes, he will make that 5 minutes for me. This is one of the biggest changes that I am seeing, because पहले भी message वही था कि अपनी चीज़ों को prioritize करो, लेकिन it was coming from a very very negative intention, because
Yeah.
I was trying to focus that मैं नहीं जाऊंगी तो इन्हीं इनको क्या फर्क पड़ता है.
So
अभी ऐसा
it's,
है कि
yeah, so what we are understanding is that let me just clarify that her mother told her, or her father told her, or her friends told her that, keep a distance from your husband. So when you keep a distance, when you don't chase him, then he will realize your importance, right, Pallavi? And this is what
yes,
she did initially. But the important point here that she's mentioning is that when she did that initially, she was coming from a very negative state. Okay, she was just trying to see, okay, if I don't chase him, if I mark myself absent from, say, certain parties, or then he will realize my importance. So the intention was negative, right? But now she's doing the same thing, wherein she prioritizes her work first. Okay, whether it is her patients, whether it was this live show that she had to come for, she prioritized that, and she tells her husband openly, clearly, happily, and her husband honors that. So now the state from where she is coming is very different. The being in her is very different, right, Pallavi?
definitely.
Okay. Okay, Pallavi. So then, our program you went through, and I think you took about 6 months, right? Normally,
Yeah.
people, no, normally our program is about 3 to 4 months, and you took 6 months, and that's perfectly okay. But you must have noticed, and I also saw that, this was quite a struggle in the program. There was a lot of struggle in the program because this journey is not easy, right? Standing
Yes.
on the verge of divorce and coming to a level where, your husband is all yours, right? This
Yes.
journey was tough. What kept you going during the program?
Actually, I would say when I joined the program, I was in a state where I felt that it can't get worse. And second, it was that I felt that this is not who I am. I mean, not about the relationship. It was absolutely not about the relationship, but I knew that I have always been a very happy person. And this is not who I am, कि अपने ही पेरेंट्स से मिलके भी खुशी नहीं हो रही, अपने सिबलिंग से मिलके अच्छा नहीं लग रहा, कोई जोक पढ़ के भी हंसी नहीं आ रही. I was in that stage. And when we started working, initially in the first 1 month, I realized that I started smiling without any reason. And that used to give me so much happiness, that just seeing me becoming me again, it was giving me so much happiness and so much motivation that no matter what happened, I just thought कि अभी जब मैंने ज्वाइन कर ही लिया है, जब पूरा करना ही है, तो लेट्स डू इट होल हार्टेडली. रिजल्ट चाहे जो हो, आई शुड बी द वे आई हैव ऑलवेज बिन. With my husband, without my husband, was always a secondary intent in my head, because मुझे ऐसा लगता था पहले मुझे ठीक होना है, मैं ऐसे नहीं रह पाऊंगी, मैं ये नहीं हूँ, I am not comfortable with myself. That was where I started from. And slowly, steadily, week by week, I would say, I think 20-25 days into the program, and I started seeing a difference, that I was so comfortable with myself. पहले अकेले बैठना यूज टू जस्ट इरिटेट मी. आई यूज टू फील किसी को फ़ोन करो, मदर इन लॉ की बुराई करो, हस्बैंड की बुराई करो, बॉस की बुराई करो, किसी ना किसी की बुराई ही करना होती थी मुझे. एंड देन आई रियलाइज दैट आई स्टॉप कॉलिंग एनीबडी, एंड नॉट बिकॉज आई वाज नॉट वांटिंग टू टॉक. देयर वाज नथिंग कि मेरे को किसी से किसी का क्रिब करना है एंड किसी के बारे में रोना है, गाना है. मुझे ऐसे ही अच्छा लगता था. ज़रूरी नहीं है टीवी चल रहा हो, म्यूजिक चल रहा हो. साइलेंस ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड मेकिंग मी सो कंफर्टेबल. एंड देन देयर वाज टर्मोइल. बहुत बार लोज आए. यू हैव बिन देयर विद मी थ्रू आउट. देयर वर वेरी वेरी स्टीप लोज ऑल्सो, बट देन बिकॉज आई हैड टेस्टेड दैट पीस इन मी, मेरे को लगता था मुझे वापस वहीं पहुंचना है. तो मुझे वो बाउंस बैक करने का मन इसलिए करता था बिकॉज आई लव दैट स्टेट ऑफ पीस इन माई हेड. तो जब भी कोई लो पॉइंट आता था तो मुझे लगता था नो आई वॉन्ट टू गो बैक. सो देन आई वुड स्टार्ट अगेन नीचे से, रो के सब कुछ करके. आई यूज्ड टू गो अहेड कि हाँ करना है, करना है. आई एम
So
लाइकिंग इट.
yeah, so what you're saying is that after first, say, 3 weeks, 25 days, when you tasted what it means to be you, right?
या
When you got that glimpse of experience of what it means to be you, and then you thought that, you could latch on to that, and each time you fell,
या
but you wanted to go back to that
yeah,
state again.
because
So that's
when I was in that state, see, my whole focus even today is that I wanted to be me. But when I was in that stage of peace, जब वो टॉप वाला फीलिंग आता था, तो I used to see there was a lot of change in my husband, which I was not even looking forward to. कि all of a sudden he would do things which he has not done for me in the 3 4 years of marriage. All of a sudden he would cancel on everything and he would just say that मेरा मन नहीं है जाने का, I want to be around you. When he used to say things like that, that is when what you used to tell me started making sense, that when you are at peace you attract people. So that was actually what my husband started doing, was a byproduct of the program. It was not actually my first hand intention, but first hand वो फिर बहुत सारी चीजें एक साथ अच्छी होने लगी थी ना, कि I was happy, he was being attracted to me. It just gave me that motivation कि नहीं ठीक है, no matter how difficult, even doing my whole studies was also not easy, but then I thought कि चलो करके देख लेते हैं. छोड़
very
नहीं कर
awesome.
रही थी तब तो कहाँ थी.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back one step back. I remember having spoken to you. We had that 1 hour call, right? Before I enroll. So I speak with everybody. And when I spoke with you, uh, there were two things. One thing you said was that you had a very strong family support. Okay.
Yeah,
So because of your parental support, because of your sibling support, you had a very, very clear option of moving out of marriage. That's one. So I remember you having told me that no, but my parents are very supportive, so I can just walk out. And then
yeah,
uh, after we spoke, you still joined, and you joined after 1 year. Okay.
yeah.
So what made you to join after 1 year, even though you knew that you could walk out?
I still can't pinpoint what made me first not to walk out of my marriage in spite of the support. But there was something in me which was pulling me back. I mean, it was not the social pressure. It was not that there is no dependency. There was no lack of support. But I just could not bring myself to walk out. Plus, मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि नहीं, it is too early. Maybe I was just married for 1 year. कि हो सकता है, मे बी इट इज़ लाइक दैट इन द फर्स्ट ईयर ऑफ मैरिज एंड आई एम ओवर एनालाइजिंग थिंग्स एंड आई एम मैं ज़्यादा गेस कर रही हूँ कि नहीं कुछ ठीक नहीं है, कुछ ठीक नहीं है. बट 1 year into the program I realized that when my dad asked me कि he told me चलो, he was here with me and he said pack your bags and we'll go. And when he said we'll go, and I was frozen on that chair and I was weeping like a child, that my dad is telling me to go, my husband is telling me get out, and I can't. And I don't like this indecisiveness. I don't like this indecisiveness. But I don't know if it was deep love for him or it was that commitment which I had to myself ki no, I can't give up. How can I fail in something? How can I've never failed in life, and how can I fail in the biggest challenge of my life? I can't fail. No, this cannot be happening. Then when I was so indecisive, I thought that okay fine, I need to clear my head out. I need to get myself back first, and then we'll see. तब जब मेरा हेड क्लियर हो जाएगा तब मैं देखूंगी कि मुझे रहना है कि मुझे नहीं रहना है कि मुझे क्या करना है. बट राइट नाउ आई थिंक आई नीड टू फाइंड माई सेल्फ फर्स्ट, because in the last 3.5 years I realized that I have lost myself completely into the marriage, doing everything which everybody wants. किसको कब क्या चाहिए, किसके लिए क्या करना है, कहाँ किसके लिए पहुँचना है, सब कुछ मैं कर रही हूँ, and still I'm not happy. That means something, I have actually lost myself.
Okay. So, since you took 1 year after that call to join, what might have been those fears? What might have been those doubts that were there, which stopped you from joining after the call?
Um, One of the reasons was finance, definitely, because shelling out that much amount of money, and I was just not sure कि मैं करूँ या नहीं करूँ.
Pallavi, your voice, you've done something. Your voice is gone.
It should be back. Am I
Your cam,
audible?
yeah, you're audible, but your camera is not there.
Just a second. Can I join back? Log out
Yeah,
and
yeah,
join
sure,
back.
sure, 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 sure. Yeah, so until the time she joins back, she's one person who actually came, wherein she had a very strong family support, and her father was willing to take her back, and she was the one who stayed back for the only reason that she thought that if she's going to go back, she will still remain the same person, which means she will still be full of pain, she'll be full of anger, she'll be full of frustration. So she thought that if she has to even go back also, then she wanted to give herself that chance that, all right, let me first stay here, work on myself, and then she will take a decision. That's what she has said. Yeah. So Pallavi, since you took 1 year, what kind of fears and doubts stopped? One
So
is
one was finance. Definitely, I had to think over shelling out so much of money. Will it help? Will it not help? And that too, I wasn't sure. मैं किसको बोलूँगी, किसको नहीं बताऊँगी. I wasn't sure. Second, my parents, my friends, everybody was like कि पहले भी एक ही साल हुआ है शादी का यार. शुरू में ऐसे होता है. You're just overthinking. इतनी भी problem नहीं है. And I agreed कि हाँ इतनी भी problem नहीं है. Though I forgot that I am living in it. Everybody else is just advising me कि इतना भी नहीं है, इतना करना होता है. Then everybody kept telling me कि नहीं adjust करना होता है, adjust करना होता है. तो कुछ चीज़ें accept करनी होती हैं. You have to learn to live with it because ऐसे नहीं होता, सब कुछ अपने हिसाब से नहीं होता. तो मुझे लगा कि I actually was doubting myself whether I am on the right track or actually everybody जो भी सब लोग बोल रहे हैं वो सच है कि नहीं. But then after that also I gave it 1.5 to 2 years. And then also when I was in a place worse than when I had a call with you, तो मुझे लगा नहीं अभी सुन ली सबकी, सबके मन का कर लिया, अभी मैं किसी को नहीं बताऊंगी, मुझे करना है. एंड आई विल नॉट इवन टेल देम कि मैं कितना पे कर रही हूँ, कैसे पे कर रही हूँ, किसी को पता नहीं चलना चाहिए. सो आई जस्ट डिसाइडेड ऑन दैट स्विम कि मैंने सबकी सुन के देख लिया एंड नहीं करना, बहुत एडजस्ट कर लिया, अब मैं और एडजस्ट नहीं कर सकती. तो वो भी बहुत सारी छोटी छोटी चीज़ें इस टाइप की आती रहती थी. हर कोई मुझे इतना ज़्यादा समझाता था तो मुझे लगता था कि समथिंग इज़ रॉन्ग विद मी. Actually they made me think that I am not adjusting, I am not accepting, or it is that I am overthinking. Relationships are like this. Actually most people wanted me to believe that a husband wife relationship is like this only, because mothers, friends, now at this stage where I am today, if I look back, I see everybody's marriage. सब कुछ ना कुछ problem होती है, कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा होता है. But what they profess is that you have to learn to live with it. This is how it is. It is like this only. There is no other way.
what
Then
would
those
you
things
have to
are
say? So what
no.
would you
There
have to
is
say?
definitely another way. Definitely another way where you can be yourself. You can prioritize yourself. You can love. You can love and keep a distance. Love and still opt for your priorities and not making the other person feel that they are not a priority. मतलब एक होता है ना कि सब कुछ है लेकिन ये चीज़ अभी इम्पोर्टेंट है. एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग विच वी हैव नाउ इज दैट yes, I know you love me, but I know this is important for you and you need to do this right now, and I understand that. This comfort, I could never imagine that this comfort can also be there in a relationship, because
Very
I've seen
nice.
every wife's life is simply revolving around the husband. 90% people get the women, which I as a doctor I see, is 40 के बाद women start having so many health issues. नीज में पेन है, वेट बढ़ गया है, कोलेस्ट्रॉल बढ़ गया है, अपने वर्कआउट के लिए टाइम नहीं मिलता है. The reason is not that they don't care, the reason is that they don't have time, because everything is revolving around the family. It's that the husband के जाने का टाइम है, बच्चों के जाने का टाइम है, अभी इसके खाने का टाइम है, अभी उसके कपड़े धोने हैं, ये होना है, वो होना है, and they don't even get the time to think of themselves. But I think I've reached a point where you see where I am today.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, those of you who are watching live, and if you have any questions, you might want to ask Pallavi. Don't bother, don't worry if I am there. I'm not saying anything to you. Please write your questions here, and this is the best opportunity when you'll be able to speak with her. So write your questions, and let her answer your questions. And meanwhile, Pallavi, I would want to know from you. Uh, what is that one advice you would want to give to those women who are struggling, and what would you say to them?
Number one would be that firstly, it is very important to listen to what that inner voice is telling you. Like my inner voice was telling me in the first, before my first anniversary, I had that call with you, and it was my inner voice which was telling me that I need help. It was coming from within me that I need help. And I heard it, I booked that call, I had that conversation, but then I ignored it because everybody else was saying something else. So it's very, very important that you listen to what your inner voice is telling you कि करना है या नहीं करना है. वो आता है अंदर से कि मुझे ये चीज़ की बहुत ज़रूरत है, बट हम उसमें सुन के, सबकी एडवाइस सुन के कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं कि हम करें कि नहीं करें. आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट कभी कभी सुनना भी पड़ता है, बट नॉट alongside, you should not be ignoring your inner voice. Number one. Number two, it is the focus has to be your happiness. Focus definitely has to be your happiness. Everything else will fall in place. It has fallen in place for me. 6 months पहले प्रोग्राम खत्म हो गया था, मैं तो 6 months के बाद भी देख रही हूँ that my husband is going on changing every day, which I'm not even working for. I'm not even looking for those changes, but he's changing every day. Every day he's doing something which is surprising for me. And without realizing that probably something is changing in me also, I'm not even realizing that. But I have become so aware that I can see the difference, the way he is. Probably there might be a possibility that he was like this forever. Only that I was not. I was so angry at I was so angry with myself probably that I couldn't see him clearly the way he is. But number one, listen to yourself. Number two, if you feel that you should go for it. Because अगर शादी में problem है, तो you are already in a very bad place. उससे खराब नहीं हो सकता. अगर कुछ हम अपने लिए help ढूंढते हैं, तो कुछ better ही होगा. हम already when we are looking for help, when we come to that point, when we start searching for help, we are already not in a good place in our life. So take that opportunity and go ahead. It is not just going to change your relationship, it is actually going to change your entire persona. This program has not just changed my relationship with my husband. It has changed my interaction with everybody, including my maid, my boss, my father, my mother, my friends. I have become very selective of how मुझे किनसे फ्रेंडशिप करनी है, किनसे नहीं करनी है.
And
Because
even your mother-in-law, right? How is it with your
yeah,
mother?
it has changed drastically with my mother-in-law. Even if my mother-in-law doesn't like something about me, she is very careful of, वो कैसे उस चीज को present करेंगी, and I will not mind it so badly. If it has become more comfortable for me to tell her that मुझे ये नहीं अच्छा लग रहा, या वो मुझे अगर कह रही है कि उनको कुछ नहीं चाहिए या कुछ किस तरीके से चाहिए, there is no ego clash between the relationships, any
Yeah,
of the relationships.
that is like one thing you learn and you apply in all the aspects, then every aspect seems to change. But what, in a sense, Pallavi is also saying is that when you focus on bringing about that change in yourself in the right direction, from the right state of mind, because you can say you don't chase your husband anymore, you can say you don't argue with your husband anymore, okay, you can say that you've left him to whatever he wishes to do. But what is that mental state, mental space you are coming from, right? That is what makes all that difference, and which not only made the difference in her relationship with her husband, but it turned around all other relationships with her, right, Pallavi? And last but not the least, Pallavi, what would you like to say? You mentioned that you found the investment to be very high, and you had to make the arrangement to you know uh, pay us the whatever was due. So what would you say, was it worth the investment, or something else one has had to be there? Pallavi, your voice is not there. No, no, you're not audible. Yeah. So, we all have said at so many number of times that I have changed myself. Okay, I have tried doing this, I have tried doing that. I have given up a lot of things. That is the exact problem, that you have given in to such an extent that you have lost yourself. And when you lose yourself in the relationship, then you have given a message to your partner that you are second and your partner is first. And if this is the message that has gone to you just because you have given in so much, then you will be treated like that. Okay. But when you treat yourself as an equal partner, that is the time that equality in partnership comes, right? So this is what she is saying. Yeah, Pallavi. So in terms of investment, would you say, was it worth the money, or?
It was way more than the worth of that money which I have paid, because when I was planning to walk out of my marriage,
I think, okay, we will just take that last question. I think some technical issues. So she has said that one before joining the program, and she took 1.5 years. So in that, why did she not join? Because she had a doubt on herself whether she'll be able to do it or not. She also had, she was swinging towards what parents, what her friends were saying, where the swing was more towards their advice saying adjust. Whereas when she took that decision, she did not inform anybody, and she did not have to adjust anything. She did not have to live up, give up anything in her life. She's following everything that she wanted to do. Yes, Pallavi. And that's how, the, her
as
husband
far as the
started to value
finance
her as well.
sorry.
Yeah, Pallavi. No,
So as
continue.
far as the worth of this finance is concerned, I feel that what I have achieved is way more valuable than the amount of money which I had paid. Definitely at that point in time, I didn't know I am going to achieve this, and paying so much of money was definitely, I had my doubts. But then now at this point, I feel that it was totally worth it. It was totally worth it. And I want to tell people that don't adjust. Just start realizing that you need help. Take that help, it doesn't matter. Nobody is going to
Thank
come
you.
and ask you. Nobody was there when I was crying. Nobody was there. Nobody was, people were just coming and telling me, oh, she's so sad. She has such a bad marriage. That is all what I was getting from people. But nobody was there when I was actually planning to walk out of my marriage. And today, those people are still there and they're wondering what happened. Oh, you are so
Yeah,
blessed. So people will always
absolutely.
be there, but it won't matter to them.
Yeah. That's wonderful, Pallavi. Good to know. And I, before I end, I will make summarize the whole thing, that it's not about the relationship, it's not about your partner, it's more about how you perceive yourself in the relationship, and to what extent are you focused on your peace and happiness from a very positive state of being, from the right state of being, from the resourceful state of being, not from the perspective of a negative state. Okay, so when you transform, the world around you transforms. But when you begin your journey to transformation, intention, if the intention is if the other person is going to change or not, then that will not take you there, because your intention is different. But if the intention is that, okay, you want to have peace, you want to have joy, you want to experience that happiness and love, when your focus is in on your own self, that is how the journey begins, and that is how the transformation also begins. Okay. And before we end, I would like to definitely thank Pallavi, being a very very busy gynecologist and very good gynecologist. I would like to thank her for her time here, and very very deeply blessed, Pallavi, for you being here. And I would like to make an
Thank you so
announcement that
much.
this is about we have decided to come up with a program, and this program is for those of you, or you might know somebody, couples who've been married for more than 5 years and they don't have children, and they are desirous of having children, but for some reason or the other they are not able to have their kids. Okay. Now we are going to be coaching those couples so that they can become first time parents easily and joyfully. So if you are one of those, then do connect with me and I'll tell you what that way forward is for you, because we are going to be starting that program very soon. Right? Get in touch with me. You can message me and then I'll tell you what the way forward is. Thank you so much, Pallavi, for your time,
Thank you for
and
having me over today.
thank
I
you.
love sharing my experiences.
Awesome. Then you should be, you're
Somehow
there in the group.
I have not been scared of telling anybody that I took help and this is what happened. This is where I was, because I feel proud of kahan se kahan pahunch gaye. So
See, she was almost on the verge of divorce, and where has she reached now? There is a
so
huge
I
difference.
always feel that I love sharing my experiences. If somebody can get help, some motivation to join, because I understand the fears and लगता है hurdles लगते हैं join करने में. So I am more than happy in sharing my experiences.
Fantastic. So you're in the group. Keep writing your experiences in the group so that
Sure,
others also can. Thank you
definitely.
so much, everyone, and thank you for those people who've been watching live. I will be connecting with you tomorrow at 3:30. You take care. Bye. Bye, Pallavi.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.